Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. We must stop. This was actually sent to me by one of the ladies that's going to be on the next Queen's Code panels. She sent this to my DM and said, hey, I think this would be good material for your show. So I checked it out and I said, you know what? This would be good for the men's panel. So we're gonna move into this and y'all let me know.
We must stop using religion to justify emotional starvation. We must stop calling cultural abuse tradition. We must stop raising boys to become the monsters their mother fear. And we must stop clapping for boys who survive hell. That is not a trophy they won. They only acquire trauma. We need to start asking them why they had to survive it in the first place. And all this starts with honest parenting, with schools that teach empathy, with religious leaders who model softness, not just sermons. It starts with men like me. Say to boys like my little king, your little brother, you are allowed to cry. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to feel, and you are still a man. My daughter, from the war zones of Gaza to the quiet depression of Ireland, from the mines of Peru to the corners of Lagos, one thing is clear. Boys everywhere are crying, but they cry in different languages. Some cry with fists, some cry with knives, some cry with silence, some cry with suicide, but they are all crying. And the world must now decide, will we listen or will we keep punishing them for the pain we never helped them process? As for me and my house, we will listen and we will raise boys with heart, not just hands. And we will never again allow silence to kill our sons, because strong boys do cry, and now they will cry no more in silence.
All right, y'all. So let's just go straight in. The question that I came up with from that is, are boys crying all over the world? But before we get into that, do y'all need me to play that again, or did y'all gather the gist of everything?
So
y'all good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so are boys crying all over the world?
Low key. I think boys are, men not.
Elaborate for us.
I feel like he was talking about, he was kind of tapping into what you spoke about about a month ago, that emotional intelligence. I think a lot of boys are crying just because they're finally experiencing manhood. I think once you experience manhood, once you take your falls and you keep getting back up, you'll understand that, hey, because I hate when people say it's okay to cry. I mean, it is okay to cry. It is okay to be emotional, but at the same time, you, as a man, you got to kind of move through this world emotionless, because if you don't, it'll take you out. It'll take you out swiftly too, very swiftly.
Classic. Cortez, you sitting quiet, waiting on your turn. Go ahead, man.
I mean, he took the words out of my mouth. Men are not crying; boys are. If you once you reach manhood and you see what the world really is, you can't cry about it no more. And I don't care. We take it in silence. We take everything in silence. That's called stoicism. That's what being a man is based on. You can't. How you gonna be a king and cry in front of everybody all day? Who's gonna follow a weak king?
Okay.
It's a personal opinion. Yes, it is, but it's the facts. No one's going to follow a weak king, no matter how new age everybody gets. Nobody wants to follow a weak king, and crying in front of everybody all the time is a sign of weakness. And the sharks don't care. The sharks don't care. If they smell blood, they're going for it. They don't care how sensitive you are.
Big facts.
Yeah. And Yay, what you think, bro?
Like cry, what you mean? Like, we talking about like a physical cry, just like a cry like actions?
In different ways. Just crying out, crying for help, literally crying in any way.
I think it's like, I don't know. It's down there, for me, it's down there like boys and men, depending on like what age we category men. Cause it's like I think even like going out, like how niggas like just be like thugging and shit, like trying to go out and go kill each other. That's like a kind of cry for help. That's like a lack of fatherhood and like mentorship in their life. That's how I see it, at least.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I think more so than the crying thing, it's it was some of the other things that he said that really that I really wanted to dive into. That was just an obvious question because he kind of punched that home, like, you know, boys everywhere in different languages from the corners of the earth is crying. So I figured we would tap on that before we get into the meat and potatoes of it. But he said a lot of "we need to stop," which was what I originally titled this, right? Which was the "we need to stop" title. And he said we need to stop doing a lot of things. And some of those things I didn't agree with. So I know you guys didn't need to hear it again, but I'm going to run a little bit of it back just because I want to catch some of the points. All right.
Bet.
We must stop using religion to justify emotional starvation. We must stop calling cultural abuse tradition. We must stop raising boys to become the monsters their mother fear. And we must stop clapping for boys who survive hell. That is not a trophy they won. They only acquire trauma. We need to start asking them why they had to survive it in the first place. And all this starts with honest parenting, with schools that teach empathy, with religious leaders who model softness, not just sermons. It starts with men like me, who will say to boys like my little king, your little brother, you are allowed to cry. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to feel. And you are still a man. My daughter, from...
Okay, so I wanted to stop right there real quick. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, this could go a lot of different ways. We got guys that are fathers, we got two people that are fathers, two people that are not, you know, fathers. So how do y'all feel about, you know, boys crying? You know, let the boys cry, give the boys a soft place to land, so to speak. How do y'all feel about that? Anybody can go first.
Not to jump out front, but just reply to that. I think anybody can cry about anything, but the same thing goes for just about everything in life. You have a time and a place where things are appropriate, and if it's inappropriate for your grown self to be weeping, then you have to ask yourself, what are the consequences for what emotion that I just displayed in public? And that's going to be huge. The big one is the consequences. Like I said before, if they smell blood in the water, they don't care how sensitive you are. Mm-hmm. They don't care how woke you are. They don't care how new age you are. If there's blood in the water, they will exploit it. And that's everywhere. That's not a single country or a single religion.
Yeah. I want to jump in on because he said something about we have to ask ourselves, why is he going through it in the first place? Because that's a part of this. I talk about it all the time. It's a part of this. There's no way to get strong without pain. There's a way to look strong without pain. You can go get some gelatin muscle implants or something like that and look. You can look how you want, but when it's time to go do some chin-ups, you can't get right. You feel me? Like it's no way to get strong without pain. You feel me? Physically, mentally, emotionally, you get fortified through the fire. You know what I mean? And so when we start asking the question of why we have to ask ourselves, why are these boys going through it? Because it's the rite of passage. It's how you become. It's literally we have to stop teaching this participation trophy as like this energy of like, you know, life. The people before you was supposed to set it up so that your life is somehow easy. Like, nah, fam. Like, there was a generation of hunters and gatherers, and then he taught his son how to hunt and gather, and his son how to hunt and gather. And everybody had to go through the same steps, learning how to get low, learning how to be quiet, learning how to follow the herd. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no around this whole concept of like, oh, well, as parents, we're failing because we're not laying out red carpet. You lay out red carpet. I'm telling you, those are the weakest adults. The kids who didn't want for nothing, didn't struggle for nothing, didn't grind for nothing, they grew up to be weak-ass adults. You know what I'm saying? But somebody else can have it.
I think it's almost a contradiction, too, of what, you know, because you think about it. I know for myself being a father, you think about when your son falls and he start crying, first thing you tell him is, hey, get up, stop that crying. Like, you actually why is it okay? Or it's almost like he's asking a question, but the world has never normalized that behavior, like ever. Like there's nowhere in the world where a young man or boy can just sit there and cry and everybody be okay with it. It's nowhere. And if it does, we know what type of men that at the end of the day. So like
yeah, man. And then he said a few other things. Hold on real quick. Let's see.
From the war zones of Gaza to the quiet depression of Ireland, from the mines of Peru to the corners of Lagos, one thing is clear. Boys everywhere are crying, but they cry in different languages. Some cry with fists, some cry with knives, some cry with silence, some cry with suicide, but they are all crying. And the world must now decide, will we listen or will we keep punishing them for the pain we never helped them process?
Okay. Yeah, so I just think I think it's in complete alignment with the level of softness that humanity is operating inside of today in general.
Yeah.
What he's talking about. Like boys are supposed to be raised on some life stuff, get a helmet type shit.
Yeah.
Now, little man, it's okay. It hurt. It's okay to say it hurt. No, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know, man. They need to put boxing in karate in the schools like they got in certain parts of Asia. They need to put real combat in school to like you got at some point in life. You have to find that you're gonna come across a moment where you're gonna decide to be a man or a mouse, right? And you're gonna come across some moments in life where if you fold, you know what I'm saying? If the itch jump out you, you may never recover. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not in agreement with this. I feel like he's coming from a passionate place with pure intentions, and I just think with pure intentions, he's giving out the wrong teaching.
Can I ask a question between y'all brothers that are in here right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
How many people are veterans in here? Okay, so this is great that for me and Souls to like rap on this. Souls, do you remember the oath that we took when we enlisted?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the oath to protect and defend? I don't have to go into the rest of it because this ain't that show.
Yeah.
But the oath that you take is to protect and defend against threats, foreign and domestic, right? So what that's telling you is that even they know that no matter what's going on here, we always gonna have to fight. But here's the thing: if you never gotten punched in the face before, the first time that you get punched in the face, especially if you're 40 years old and they never got punched in your face, you're gonna be so confused as to what has happened. I will tell you, it was encouraged. It was encouraged from the men in my family for all of us to duke it out. Put on some gloves if you need to put on gloves. If you're scared of getting hit with the fist, put the gloves on. But you're going to fight. They used to make sure of it too. Hey, you saw what he did, do you go get him back? That's not violence. That is protection and ensuring that your bloodline continues. Because if it's, in my case, if it's 5 soft boys, none of us would have been able to carry on the bloodline. And at the end of the day, that's really what all of us people do, is we try to make sure that our bloodline carries on. Because as soon as a little bit of that softness creep in there, your whole family name is erased from history.
Yeah. I agree.
People gonna attack your house. People gonna take your stuff. They might slap your girl on the booty, you looking too soft. In some of the places that I've been to, I don't know about you, but I don't want nobody slapping my girl on the booty while we in public. What you gonna do about it, little dude? What you gonna do about it?
Hey,
But you know what, Tez? Like, gun violence has really kind of covered up a lot of the toughness. You know what I mean? Because like, if people really knew that, hey, if we get into it, we're gonna shoot the fair one, I think we wouldn't have all these problems. You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like right now, you know what I mean? Because I remember, like when I grew up, like you said, Ted, same thing. Grew up in Louisiana, like family, we fought each other, we fought everybody we met in different neighborhoods. But back then, you can do that.
Can't do that no more.
I think with all the scarcer, like how scary people are, you don't know what that one-on-one is going to become. Like, you never know. You get the best of somebody, you got to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life.
But here's the thing about that, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
That softness. So I'm about to piss off everybody, and I'm going to do it anyway. That gun violence is a direct result of single mother homes, of single mother parenting. That's a direct result of that. You think all of these dudes would be out here toting guns if they knew how to fight, if their daddy smacked them upside the head and taught them?
Natural born crash dummy.
Right.
We got one.
Right. We going in right now. You shouldn't have never said it, because the minute that you brought it up, I had to go ahead and put the facts out there. Yes, there's gun violence. There's a lot of pussies with them. They're always the ones out there shooting people because they can't fight. You know how many super skinny dudes that done walked up talking crazy because they got a pole on them?
All right now.
Can't take a punch, but can squeeze the trigger.
Yeah. I tell people that's why a lot of your people who grew up fighting, you wouldn't even know it. We look we look like the nice guys now. You know what I mean? Like we look like the nice guys now. We look like the guy like you think you could approach, but then you approach him and then your life changed. You know what I mean? Like, because when I grew up, my dad taught me we don't talk, we don't do all that yapping. Like my daddy said, you don't got to take your shirt off, all that extraness. We don't put on no show. Just
let's get it. Yeah,
just know when I hit you, we're gonna make it count. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it count. You know, but it's so hard now, and like you said, Tez, I think it's really difficult, man. It's very difficult to even get the balance of manhood back balance. You know what I mean? Because of those items, like people now, like you said, they got the weapons, they got everything. So it's almost like you got to put your ego to the side to move through the world today. You know what I mean? Like, you really do. Like, it's crazy when you think about it, man. It's kind of
I knew it was over with when they started calling masculinity toxic.
Classic.
Let's get to these comments, y'all, so we can move on to the next one, man.
Because we can go all day.
It ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop. Let's do it. Let me see. Oh man, the chat heavy in here. Soft Rain, what up? Joe Jet, what up? Key, what up? Justin Davis, what up? Jay Zilla, what up? Miles Bachelor said, what's up, everyone? Do boys know why they're crying? I think we touched on that. We just covered that one. He said, everybody hit that like button. Yeah, we need that in our life. Hit that like button. There's no charge today. We got a special promo. All right, we got let's see. Oz. He said, life don't give a fuck. You can cry about it or plow through it. Facts. Soul said we collab with one of the best in the game. Respect, my brother. Who else we got? Here we go. Joe Jet said those boys need a purpose, and that gives them direction. Without that, then you'll generate being emotional instead of knowing how to control those emotions so you can achieve. Yeah. I mean,
put your son in sports.
Yeah, and you describing having a father around.
Put him in sports.
I said no. Now I'm come from different world than y'all. When your little ass gets bucked off the bull or tossed off the sheep, we dust them off, put that hat back on, and tell them to go ride again. That's facts.
Classic.
Oz
you said, Oz going crazy. Oz said, agree with the punch in the mouth statement 100%. Facts. Hey, as a man, you need to know if you could take one or not. If your chin is weak, if God then bless you with that hard iron central nervous system, and you know your lights go out easy, then at least you know you got to get your defense together. All right, I ever get in a street fight, I'm gonna be elusive as hell. Woo, slipping, dipping, rolling underneath shit, pivoting out, picking shit up. Bing. Hey, you gotta know where you strong, know where you weak, but at least you know. You gotta
when
know.
Y'all was younger, when y'all remember the show My Brother and Me? Anybody remember that show?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where he was talking to his brother and he was like, hey man, you can't let that dude punk you. When you walk up to him, so you don't get in trouble, you tell him just like this, hit me. Hit me, go ahead, hit me. He said, let him hit you and then see what happened. Well, you know, he got hit and he got knocked out.
Yeah.
He said, so little bro, what happened? He hit me. He hit me, knocked me out. He said, "Okay, we gotta train you up."
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
man. Let's move into the next segment. That's it for the We Must Stop segment of the show. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart and now hardened the flow. They don't